Yes, actually, I believe so. And Catboy, I did understand that actually.
Not for the lights.
Which I'm quite proud of myself. It's nice here. It's cold, but the days are starting to get a little bit lighter now that we've passed the winter solstice. I feel like I'm settling well enough. I really need to step up my game on learning the language, though. It's just so hard to find the time at the moment. Oh, no matter how many times I come here, the cold never fails to catch me off guard. The sky may be as bright as in the scorching hours of day, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now that makes sense. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inner journey's head, which is where this Alizé friend of yours is staying. Well, that's a fair old distance. So I propose we make a stop in Souq to break up the trek. Allow me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off. I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Right, we head southwest straight as an arrow. When if that line changes, what time ET it is? I don't think so. Same as last time I saw it. I moved here. Yes, I've moved here. Yeah. I have a visa. I am living in Norway. That's a tiny bike, so cute. I know. I know. I love this zone. Love all these zones. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amh Araeng, is it not? Before you cross the River of Sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. Oh. Oh. They built them big, didn't they? That's Kasir Shal, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Amh Araeng. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say it was once one of Novarat's mightiest nations. At least until the Flood of Light came along. Great chunks of Amh Araeng's lands were lost to the light, and its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days, not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become little more than a marrow roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is as deserted as this place. Wait until you see Souq. It's right behind you. Let's press on, shall we? Yeah, we're not really sure, like, how the Flood of Light canonically affects the weather, because, it's a weather effect here, so it doesn't rain, or anything like that, until we've restored the darkness. But when it does, like, rain and stuff at the Crystarium, you don't see people, like, panicking. Oh my god, there's water coming out of the sky! Oh! And, there's gotta be, you know, precipitation, like it's gotta rain. I mean, well, it doesn't have to, you know, because like it's like water crystals and shit. You'd like to see it restored first at some point in the future? Yeah, me too, Arcadian. I'd like to see that as well. Maybe someday. Here we are, Souq. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. Souq. Not just full of Maud, but Humes and all manner of others too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Maud before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you can never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do the Maud voices now. I forgot about this. Well, at least we don't have to do all these side quests, huh? My voice should survive. I bet how chill all the beast tribes are. I mean, yeah, like as far as we know. So this is a mod. Ah, yes, here I will do that. Alright.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Oh, good. I don't have to voice him. He is voiced.
Very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Maud Souq.
Souq is Maudish for city. As things stand, this Souq boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Amh Araeng. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other
don't
things
mention
too.
Gabu.
Many of them rare.
Oh, my heart.
As I told you before, not many visit Amh Araeng by choice, but Maud Souq's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Maud dig up.
From moms around.
Aye, that they do. For Maud do not dismiss the spoils of
Mobs.
We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our Souq is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
I do
You
not
say that
accept this
every
as a
time,
canonical
Master
kobold
Gengen.
voice.
Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer. I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here!
Come and look.
You buy, you buy.
Enough of that!
Oh, dear.
Calm, I say. This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Yeah, normal guild does work just fine, but Vobert coins are like worth a shitload of gil. All right, well, I'm retconning the voices, okay? All right, okay, all right.
Welcome to Runruns, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but not drooling on the merchandise, yes?
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, give me some of that.
Everyone's favorites. Plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat.
I think I go for the bread.
I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruit, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat.
Indescript meat left out in the sun covered with flies.
That's my ever-burning bounty, maybe the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Come find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights.
Nope. And big nope.
Oh, you like those? Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks, spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking.
Oh, I forgot to scan him as well.
They all look tasty, yes. Which to choose, which to choose.
I will have the mushloaf. Thank you.
Ah, very wise. You won't wither on the sands with a gut full of cactus fruit filling. You have the gold. And done. One for Birthright Honor buys you 40 loaves of bread.
What? That's squint. I reckon the mush loaf would be pretty good, honestly. I'd have a go at that. Every last mouthful.
What an appetite! What a belly! A new legend is born in Souq. Consider your coin purse cracked. I'm pleased to accept your custom, and Gen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns.
Oh yeah, the shoe bill's not here. Yeah, it's only in Collision and the Tempest. And there's the last couple of chapters.
I was watching from here, Ethys. You honored our custom and with great relish. You will always be welcome in Souq. If you need anything in Amh Araeng, we are here to provide.
You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Souq. Oh, offering your services, are you? Ah, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for, you just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling then. See you in a bit. Okay. Yep. Now, I'm going to be, like, vaguely looking out for ether currents, but I'm not going to go out of my way for them at the moment, I don't think. If you're out in Sard's porter work, you've come to the wrong place. There's no outstanding orders with my shop. No, I was just trying to rob you, you dingus. Very trusting.
Assad sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again?
Tin ore.
Yes. Wait, no, are you sure? I don't seem to have any on hand. Fuck.
Oh, I've literally got the receipt here. iron ore, and table cactus. Iron ore.
Iron ore, of course. I would explain this box I have here. It's all yours.
Okay. Yeah, there's something here from Tonton. And Mulmul.
You came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please take your prickly purchase.
And I think this was right.
Hey, no touching. That merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Cassard sent you? Why did you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Amh Araeng relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there. Handle with care.
Alright, Cassard, I did your damn busy work. Don't tell me you've been round the entire market already. Aye, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I'd thought you wanted to sit in the city like the Exarch. Something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you returned, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I've to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. Sorry to make you sit around twiddling your thumbs. Oh, no. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It's been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. No, go away. No. Oh, no. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alisaie. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alisaie's told me so much about you. You're Ethys, aren't you? I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alisaie quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Ethys' guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amh Araeng, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Oh no! Oh no! Alisaie has been desperate to see you, Ethys, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. You just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be, if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alisaie was always saying how much you... let's get going, shall we? I love how firmly we establish here that Alize is completely in love with us. It's adorable. Arcadian, I get what you're saying, but the thing for me was like, it established the stakes, and I was never like not certain that it wasn't gonna happen again. Like, I was always kind of wary and prepared for some serious shit to go down. So I think it was very, very effective. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Be bitten, those things can be nasty. It'd hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alize was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. It wasn't a good impression on some. I don't know. I don't think, like... I can't think of anyone that was, like... not super stoked with Shadowbringers' story. Like, I don't know. I haven't spoken to anyone that it really, like, missed the mark for. Oh, there you go. Ether current. A first one of the expansion. If I can just get up there. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. No, thank you. I mean, at least someone asked me there and didn't just, like, spam me with it. Because that is my absolute pet peeve. This is it! Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. Seems you ended up escorting me. Have to repay the favor somehow. But first, let's head inside, shall we? Oh, don't say that, Tesley. Don't you say that. Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alize arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alize who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alize give you the full explanation. Most expansions kind of depressing. Yeah, but it pays off, like in a major way. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose. But why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side, you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. You think they'd at least have made some, like, gates or something here? You know, like, they've got wooden barricades here serving absolutely no function whatsoever. You think they'd have, like, you know, gated this off? Yes, I did forget to attune that Aetherite. Thank you for reminding me. I'll grab it when we go back. Yeah, like there are points here and there where it feels like our character is so overpowered and everything is so safe and there's no kind of, you know, real risk or real stakes, and it's just nice that every now and then we do kind of like, you know, it does sort of get real. Even if it's not always particularly pleasant to experience, it's at least for me, it definitely makes me feel more emotionally invested.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be.
Hey, you better hope you can kill that thing with 1 HP, Alize. You almost lost that one.
I had it under control, right up until the moment I didn't. I'll do better next time. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Oh, Alize.
How are you?
Oh, you precious girl.
We've fought them to a standstill then.
Oh, it really upset me as well, Arandian. It
The
probably
exarch
will
did
again
say
here.
that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then.
Like, I had to go and take a
I'm
walk.
heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims.
Alize, you've come a long way since Heavensward, thinking that Urianger had turned Ascian,
Nor how
haven't you?
difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. A 100 years ago, the balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations.
Yeah, I'd have to say, with that question about the Void Scent, their transformation,
Yes,
it would probably
that's
occur a
how
lot
the Sin Eaters
faster.
came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood.
Partly because of the astral aspect as opposed to the umbral, and partly because there was no part of the Void, at least as far as we know, that it was spared. So there wasn't any like non-corrupted ether that people could sort of, you know, cling to for a little bit before you know, the scales were tipped in their internal
Once the
etheric
change
alignment.
is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
So I think we're working on that in Eden. I think that is a really significant part of the Eden storyline, I think. And certainly like dates this, but I think we're going to find out a lot more about that in 5.2. It's just a matter of time, more for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Teslin and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a sin eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Yeah, Norandia's right. The difference between the empty, so, you know, the stuff outside of Novrat, and the void, is that in the empty, the ether's all in stasis. It's all frozen in place. It's not moving. Whereas in the void, there is none. It's gone. It's just blown out. It's just exploded out into, you know, the universe. Let me go and grab this ether current while we're here. Yeah, it does seem that way, Norandia, yeah. Either that or there's some time travel involved as well with Gaia. But we'll see. We'll see soon enough. Would have thought the 13th reflected me incredibly fast-moving tempest of ether. It was, very briefly. But yeah, Koji explained the difference to us. Is that flood of light, all the ether's static. Flood of darkness, there is none. It's gone. It's gone. It is scattered across the universe. All dissipated. Yes. Yes. Almost all of it. Couple little scraps here and there. How do we know about Gaia? From FanFest. We saw her concept art, and we were told her name. That's it. And from the first part of Eden, we were given, you know, that little ominous bit about the Oracle of Darkness, and the fact that she's very clearly traveled from the void, hitched on a void sense. Again, most of you guys watching this on YouTube, 5.2 is already out. May have been out for some time. So this is just pre 5.2 speculation. How'd you fare? I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the void scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. It's the basic idea behind my patrols. To cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we? Alize tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alize has missed your company. everything as always, if Ethys were here, he would... that's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Ethys' methods. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. The way he leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing. I have no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. Man, I get called out, Alize. Holy shit. That's what I get for sharing. Oh, that's right, Alize. I love you too. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with. Yes, what Narandia said. Well, the voids that exist by cannibalizing the leftover ether, also by breaching into other dimensions. So, void scent summoning and pacts with void scent, kind of mutual arrangements, have been a thing since at least the time of Alec on the source. And the void scent are always quite amenable to come over here and, you know, help out with whatever the heck it is that we need, because they get to gorge themselves. They stay alive, they get, you know, infinitesimally more powerful, and go back to the void and, you know, presumably get further cannibalized and it gets spread around, and yeah. So the void and the void scent kind of leech off the other shards in that way. They continue hanging on to life. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I mean to visit. It's a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Borneal, Hodden, and Halric. I may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise I'll be pleased to meet someone new. Oh, Halric. Can you imagine what Goblet is paying Typhon and Ultras? Probably just like a couple of crystals here and there, honestly. Yes, I'll get the Etherite right now. Oh, let me just talk to Halric first, actually. Oh, this kid is so creepy. The 13th was to be made whole again, there wouldn't be a need for the rejoining. I don't know about that. It's more a case that the 13th cannot be rejoined until it is made whole again. The rejoining cannot be completed unless the 13th is somehow made whole, or they find some other workaround. Does Magnus pay his Mars Carnival monsters? No. Yeah, he's just trapped them. He's just got Beastmasters confirmed going and capturing them. No, they are Void Sent, Norandia. Typhon and Ultras are Void Sent. They were summoned by the Thaumaturge Guild in Experiment. You've seen to the patients? How were they? Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Halric, though. I have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. we shall leave you to that discussion then. I was going to take Ethys to Mod Souq if you have any errands there that need doing. I was literally just there. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Assad's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh food. Oh no. Oh no. Come then, Ethys. There's something I want you to see, right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. Is there canonically only one Typhon and Ultras? Yeah, they're individuals. They're not like a void set type. They're did I do it? They're discrete individual. I did, okay, good. Considering Bismarck's on the first, not unreasonable to presume that other creatures have reflections as well. Yeah, that's fair. Although I think it's possible that Bismarck might either be unsundered or the name Bismarck that was given to this Fae is something, like comes from something older than the Sundering, comes from the ancient world. Yeah, like Phoenix. Phoenix comes from the ancient world. I think it's likely that Bismarck is probably the same. It's a, you know, an old legend, an old story from before the Sundering that people have, you know, a vague memory of, and has kind of been carried into post-sundered culture. He was a good chub, Claymore.
Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares?
Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock?
Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge.
Gods, I've never seen a Maud merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. You what? No, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Oh. The worms, if you please.
Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends.
Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetherite to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Yeah, who knows? Who knows with Bismarck? Again, Bismarck might be some unsundered creature that's traveled between shards. Don't really know. Hard to say. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Glazed wrigglers! You actually brought them. Yeah, I really should let you, but just this once, all right? Only once.
Never fails. Shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. that nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful Ethys. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Espional, that's an excellent question. The ecology is very different. 12,000 years, of separation between each of the shards. But particularly, there's a huge difference between the shards and the source. The two main reasons. The first is that the source has been hit by 7 calamities, which erase and bury the majority of, culture and history and everything. And has to be built up from the ground up. And no doubt causes, mass extinction and all that kind of stuff. The other is the Allagan Empire. Omega only crashed into the source. As far as we know, it's only the Allagans out of any of the shards that have been subjected to and had ready access to, space-age technology. And, conquered the whole world and held a empire over it for 1,000 years. So Koji told us, with the cave paintings and stuff like that we see here on the first, that kind of stuff, and the ruins of Amh Araeng, for instance, have been long buried, destroyed, whatever, by these, various calamities that have been slapping the source over the thousands of years. So, the shards probably look more similar to each other than they do to the source. Floods of light and darkness aside. It's possible as well, Quirky. Yeah. That could be interesting. Anyway, here you go. I hope that answers the question. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecturing. Alize, you need to pay more attention to Riange's lecturing. And I need you to know that beyond a doubt, I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. Carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering as their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. That's interesting, Chaos Unfolding, because, I know Bismarck's pretty chill. Hey, Jack, thank you so much for that tier 2 sub. Holy shit. Thank you. Really appreciate that. You do recall that regarding the ruins? Yeah. Pixies and the Fae especially stand out. Not truly born like a person or a phenomenon. Yeah, Pixies are an interesting case. Is there any info on Omega and dragons traveling to the source? Yeah. Would they know the shards, or is the travel something different? We don't know. I would imagine that God's Armor would probably know about the shards. We also don't know for certain whether Midgard's Armor and Omega traveled to the source before or after the Sundering. I suspect it's after. Midgard's Armor made a... Well, no, it had to be after, because Midgard's Armor made a pact with Hydaelyn when he arrived. And when Hydaelyn was summoned, the Sundering happened pretty soon after. And Omega arrived after Midgard's Armor. So it was almost definitely... There's a loophole there if Midgard's Armor isn't unsundered himself. I think he probably is. I think that the Dragon Star is probably outside of the shards. Because he's immortal, he's so powerful, he shares like so many qualities with what we would consider an unsundered being, an unsundered soul. So I think he probably is, but we don't know for sure. It is also possible that the Dragon Star is another one of the shards. So, there you go. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? I did manage to find a nectarine. Thank you. Alizé's explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Big oof. Big yikes. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, I'll make us a nice stew. Is this my main 14 account? No, Jack, this is an alt. I mean, it's my main account, but it's an alt character.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
It's meal. And nectarine. I'll have another bowl then. Aye.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot.
My main character is on Light, on Odin.
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs.
The Dragon Star does exist, Espional. We can see it in the sky. It's what the Ishgardian astrologians do to predict the awakening of Nidhogg and the movements of the Dravanian horde. You're on Lich? Ah, cool. I am super hyped for Sickle. So it was destroyed in the wall. I mean, it basically was. It's basically like completely, you know, raised, if you will. But if it doesn't still exist, then, well, no, it has to, right? Because it might work like how it works in real physics. It's just really far away and it blew up like, you know, a long time ago. And the light of that just hasn't reached us yet. But the Ishgardians will observe in real time, like when Nidhogg kind of wakes up and starts flexing, the Dragon Star will react. So presumably Midgard Zormro's children have some ethereal connection. They probably draw from the Dragon Star in some way that the Astros can also draw from the constellations. But yeah, they observe it and predict the movements of dragons. So there is definitely like, you know, a real-time connection going on there, and it's not like a, you know, light doesn't travel in the same way in 14, evidently. It'd still be there, just not habitable for dragons. Yeah, I mean, it might be, you know, conquered and settled by the spacefaring race that made Omega by now. You know, the fucking Borg or whatever they are.
I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death.
Oh, and sorry, YouTube, that we're taking like so many sidebars here and getting so sidetracked, but it's all interesting stuff, right?
With grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you
Oh, he
think
can
so?
be.
I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Oh, Chrono, don't we just. Thank you so much for the resub, mate.
Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
I don't want to do this, you guys. I don't want to. Oh, I really don't want to do this. Can we just not? Oh. Oh, can we not? I'll cover the north and west then. You take everything from here to the south. Didn't know why they freaked out until you got here. Yeah. Yeah, Alphina's bit isn't quite so, tense. Hello? There we go. Maybe if I'm really quick, I can get there before Teslane. Alright. Don't really need to use technical step here, do I? I mean, no, we wouldn't have had to. Queen, he's still fine. There's nothing about this that, like, stops that from happening.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
No, 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 no. Fuck you.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
There it is!
Is that... Oh no!
Halric!
No. Oh, she's so good.
We have to run!
Oh.
Teslane! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Oh god. Oh, I hate this. Oh, that shot like actually makes me gag.
No!
Forgive me, Alice.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Alright. It's worse the second time? Oh, I don't know. I was really shocking the first time. But like having a better understanding of the context the second time is like... Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? It wasn't even a fight. I was too late. Slow. I thought I could protect you. Can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound, and no one could have done more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you. and that you'll delay Hauric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Hauric. Tezeline's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes. A purpose. It's damned light. Building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Ethys. What if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now, hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Ethys on my own. I can use the skills I've gained here to hurt them. The screen cap from my stream is terrifying. Oh, did it screen cap the Yeah, okay. I think I can probably guess. Well, that sucks. Shadowbringers in a nutshell? Yeah, right. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man. Well, I think it's definitely good starting with Alizé's chapter of Alphinaud's one again, just kind of like setting the stakes. I think everything kind of like paces a little better. I am glad I'm not gonna have to do any side quests. That's gonna be nice. Although I've done all the side quests on my main. It might be worth recording the longer ones, you know, the chain ones. At some point, that might be good. We can always come back and do that on this character. Give me Ethys. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way. Steel. Miss Alizé, is there anything I can get you? You're swift as a marrow. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Ay. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amh Araeng again. Barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? Okay. Grab this one while we're here. I think I did attune with a Desalgate now. Yeah, Alphinaud is effective in showing the other end of the threat. You're right about that. You really love the music in this city? I love everything about this city. It's so good. Thank you for seeking me out, Ethys. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off again the moment we have decided upon a direction, but you have still to visit Alphino, haven't you? If I know my brother, he'll be on the cusp of discovering something vital to our success, if he hasn't already. I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being. Don't keep me waiting too long, eh? Okay. Wow, that's, oof. I need like a minute just to recover from that. Guys, I might leave it there because I need to, first of all, I need to edit and upload this part for YouTube, and I also need to write this section up in the summary. I'm doing a story summary of 5.0 and 5.1 for Gamerscape, a kind of like prosaic narrative summary. And I'm writing that up like alongside this playthrough so that it's all kind of, you know, fresh and inspired. Yeah, so, also feed myself. Yeah, I should probably get something to eat first. Yeah, that's gonna take a good few hours. So, yeah, I'm trying to stream these parts. I'm trying to do like 4 hours at a time, and we've knocked out 4 hours. So I need to spend another 4 or so, excuse me, working on that today. So I'm gonna do that. Thank you for everyone on YouTube. I will probably catch you in the next part up in, I don't know, a couple of days, hopefully, if I've got time to edit it all. I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.